Hey guys, welcome back to another edition here of Intuitive Angling. Really appreciate you guys making some time for the video. And a late night here in the tackle room, man. I just got back from my jiu-jitsu class. I've been up since like 5:15 this morning. It's been a long day, so I'm going to share with you guys this tip that I have debated forever about not sharing, and I'm going to go ahead and give it up to you guys, and I'm going to hit the sack with that. So you guys are going to definitely catch some fish on this setup I'm going to show you here. Real quick before we get started here, just want to remind you guys, if you're interested in any of this, what I'm going to talk about here, it's all available at Baitworks here in Springfield, Missouri on the online store. I'll include the link in the description, and to use that link, it's a good way to help the channel. So much appreciated there. Okay guys, let's get into this. I am going to tell you my shaky head secret. I don't know if any of you guys have ever done this before. I've never seen anyone do it. And that is using a shaky head with a methylate trickworm on it. Now, I'm going to sort of tell you how this came about here. The methylate trickworm has been known, for 30 some years as like one of the top colors for a floating worm to throw, just with this typical floating worm rig. It's, for whatever reason, in the springtime of the year, it catches a lot of fish. It's not as productive on a floating worm as it used to be, but man, guys, 20 years ago in April and May, this thing was just like using a live bait, a methylate worm. It's a lot of people have thrown it over the years, so it still catches them, but not as good as it used to. But anyway, guys, I was one of the original people that got on this really quick, and I finished in the top 10 in a couple Bassmaster Megabucks with it. Actually I finished third in one Megabucks, would have won the tournament on the thing if I hadn't lost some. I've been using it for a long time. And anyway, about probably 10 or 12 years ago, I got thinking about it. It's like, why I've never seen anyone use a methylate color on a shaky head setup like this. And I got thinking, it's like, I have caught so many dang bass on a methylate worm and a floating worm. I know the bass react to that color. I know they bite it. And I've caught a ton of fish on a floating worm where I've thrown it out there, and say I've got a fluff in my line, or I'm messing with something, and the worm floated down, and I pick up on it, and all of a sudden the fish was swimming out with it. So I got thinking, it's like, why wouldn't this thing work on a shaky head? If they love the color that much and they react to it as a floating worm, why not try it on a shaky head? I've never seen anyone do it. Everybody just, on shaky head, they throw green pumpkin or watermelon or black once in a while. So about 10 years ago, guys, I put this thing on, and you cannot believe how good the bass bite this methylate shaky head. This is the first time I've ever talked about it. I don't talk about it much at all, but guys, they will bite this thing under a certain set of conditions that you've got to have. So what are the conditions you're talking about? First of all, in my opinion with it, it's all about water clarity. The water clarity for them to bite the methylate shaky head has got to be in the 4 to 6 foot zone. Now, I've caught some fish on it in other clarities, but when you have that water clarity of 4 to 6 feet, which you do in quite a few highland impoundments across the lake, and even in some areas in the south, like there's some places in Florida that have that. There's a lot of smallmouth places up north that have 4 to 6 foot of visibility. When you've got water visibility of 4 to 6 feet, and you got bass that are biting or set up to be caught on a shaky head, excuse me, or a Ned rig or a drop shot on the bottom, do yourself a favor, guys, next time, and rig you up a methylate trickworm, Zoom trickworm on an 1/8 ounce shaky head, and just see what happens. I can promise you guys that you're gonna have some methylate colored shaky heads in your boat after you try this under those conditions. So anyway, guys, this is just a quick tip. There's not much to it beyond just the color of the worm. You don't fish it any different than you would any other shaky head. Just put it on a shaky head. When you get into those situations where you got 4 to 6 foot of water visibility, give it a try. I don't care if you're fishing it in 3 foot of water or in 20 foot of water. They will bite this thing like crazy. So like I said, I've never seen anyone using it. Maybe if guys are using it, they're taking it off before they come into the dock or something. But I promise you, it'll add up to some good fish for you guys coming up this year. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in the video. Much appreciated. And please hit that subscribe button if you haven't, and we'll talk later. See ya.